Welcome back, everybody. Robert with Occupancy Boost. In today's video, I'm going to review my year-end STR report. I'm going to show you why I feel this is the most important STR report of the year, but more importantly, I'm going to show you some really neat things that I do with the year-end STR report to gain a big advantage over my competitors. Stay tuned. I'm going to switch screens and show you guys how to get this done. You don't want to miss this one. Okay, we're in the table of contents, this first tab down here for this property. And the only tabs we're going to be focusing in on today are the table of contents right here, the glance, which is the second tab over, and then the third tab over, which is the summary tab. Now, one tab I do want to show you is this help tab at the very, very bottom. Everybody has this. So let me kind of show you what that looks like. Anything that I review in the STR report today, you can find the definition for it right here on these two tabs. I got a frequently asked question link and a glossary that basically describes in detail everything about the STR report. That's how I learned the STR report, was by going to these, and as I went through, I learned the definitions of everything. These STR reports are huge when you really start getting into it and you start dissecting what everything means. And I'm going to touch on some of this stuff today, but everything I talk about today in this video, you can backtrack and go into these websites here and get the exact definitions and learn a little bit more about them. If there's something that you saw that I don't cover, obviously, you can focus on that too and learn a little bit more about that. So going back to this table of contents tab, we are looking at a December 2023 STR report. So the reason for this video is I wanted to review a couple different things, obviously, that I want you guys to be aware of and what to use this December 2023 STR report for. This is an important STR report. It's one I spend the most time on, when I review STR reports for my properties. So I'm going to go to the response tab here first so we can kind of backtrack into the STR report and show you guys how we're going to get through all this math. This is the hotels that this hotel is being compared against right here on this competitive set tab or this response tab. And there's 5 hotels you can see below the hotel. So this hotel right here is at the top, and they have 75 rooms. And then it shows you all the other hotels that are below that they're being compared against, and all the number of rooms that these hotels have. So that's what we're going to be comparing ourselves against on this report. You can change this competitive set tab, and if you go on that help, if you can change your competitive set. If you go into that help tab that I showed you, it'll tell you where to go and who to email in order to get these hotels changed. Hotels do this quite often if they don't feel like they're being compared against the appropriate hotels, or if they have a new hotel that's built in their city, they get that change. And you're more than welcome to do that too, just by visiting that help tab and emailing STAR, and they'll kind of guide you through the process of doing that. There are some rules they have of doing that, but I've done it before quite a bit myself. So response tab, 75 rooms is what this property has. And if we go back to the glance page, we are on the year-end December 2023 STR report. And the area we're going to focus on today is this RevPAR area right here, RevPAR. And this is my favorite area to visit on a STR report. To me, it is a definition of the overall health of the hotel. It tells me how this hotel is doing overall, the health of the hotel. RevPAR is based on total available rooms. So this hotel has 75 rooms. So all the figures in here are based on the entire 75 rooms that this hotel has. ADR is based on your occupied rooms. So it's information that's only based on the rooms that are occupied for the property. RevPAR is based on all the rooms in the hotel, so it kind of gives you an overall picture of how the hotel's doing overall. And the way this RevPAR is calculated, you can see this property has a $21 RevPAR for the end of the year. The way that's calculated is taking total revenue divided by total available rooms. So if this hotel has 75 rooms, their total available rooms for the year are 27,375. I got that by taking 75 rooms times 365 days in the year, and that gives me 27,375 rooms. So that's a total available rooms this property had to sell for the whole year. Now, if I take that 27,375 and I multiply it by this $21 RevPAR that they had for the end of the year, that's going to give me $574,875. So a little over $500,000 is what this property did. Now, looking at this on a STR report, you see that this property is down to their comp set by $5 for the end of the year. The competitive set did $26 RevPAR as on average, and this property did $21. So it's only down $5. Now, $5 doesn't sound like a much, but if I take that 27,375 available rooms and I multiply it by the RevPAR that the comp set did, which is $26, I get a number of $711,750. That is what this hotel should have been doing. Their competitors did $26 RevPAR. This hotel should have done a $26 RevPAR. That's their comp set. So that's a difference of $136,875. Now that is a lot different than $5. A lot different. And that should kind of give you an idea of how you can better yourself as a property owner or a property manager. So this hotel really has to make up $136,000 in order to be even with their competitive set. A lot different than $5. It's a lot easier to figure out how to make up $136,000 than it is a $5 RevPAR. It means a lot more when you put it into total revenue. So if I want to break that down a little bit further and I want to see about how much they were down a month, I can divide that $136,875 divided by 12 months in the year, and I'm going to get $11,406. So they're basically down a little over $11,000 a month. Okay, $11,000 a month is quite a bit of money. So as a hotel owner or operator, you got to kind of figure out how you can make up $11,000 a month. And I can tell you right now that this property is probably not doing all the things that they should be doing. A lot of owners and operators know where they're kind of missing the mark. They know what their competitors are doing. And as an owner operator, you should know what your competitors are getting that you're not getting. It shouldn't really be a surprise. You can drive through the parking lot and kind of see if they have group business in the hotel. Online, you know where your deficits are. Maybe you're not taking enough discounted business. Maybe you need to raise your rate a little bit more to bring more revenue, and maybe you can afford to raise your rate. I mean, you can see this hotel's average rate was $49, and their competitors ran a $61 average rate. So maybe they have them price themselves a little bit low. So what I'm getting at is this deficit of $136,000 to your competitors should give you a base of how to kind of establish yourself for the next year. Now, if I want to break that down a little bit more, and I want to take that $11,406 for each month and break it down per day, I'm going to get $375. I just took that $136,875 divided by 365 days in the year in the deficit, and it's going to tell me it shows me that this hotel was down $375. It tells me this hotel was down $375 a day. Okay, and if I take that, I break it down one more time. If I take that $375 for each day and divide it by their average rate, it tells me that this property was down 7.6 rooms a day. So around 7 to 8 rooms a day. So now I know as a property owner or manager that I need to make up around 7 or 8 rooms every single day in order to at least be even with my comp set. Now you want to beat your comp set, but the first step is to be even with your comp set. And in order to get even with your comp set, you need to do anywhere from 7 to 8 rooms a day. It's a lot easier to formulate a game plan when you know how many room nights you need to make up in order to at least be even with your competitors in your area. Okay? And like I said, there's a lot of different things that can go into that. You as the owner-operator should know, is it group business? Maybe they have a group in the hotel or somebody that consistently uses them. One company could actually make that up for you. If you have one of your competitors is getting a lot of business from a particular company, then that's what you need to go after because they're beating you by having that company at their hotel. There's a reason why you're down this far. And backtracking into the STR report and figuring out on a daily or a monthly basis or even a yearly basis how far you're down will open up your eyes to what how to make that money up. Now, the last part I'm going to go to here is this summary tab. This summary tab is kind of a comparison. It breaks it down a little bit more, and I want you guys to look at this when you're looking at your year-end STR reports, and I want you to scroll at the bottom here and go to this RevPAR area. Now you can see what it's done is it compares your property to the entire market. So instead of just breaking you down between your competitors, which is located here at the bottom, it's going to break your revenues down and compare you to the entire market. So what this tab shows me here, we're focused on the running 12 months because this is going to show us that year-end information. And again, your hotel's located at the top. This hotel happens to be located in Nashville, Tennessee, and it compares you right here on this running 12-month, second column down. It's comparing you against the entire Nashville, Tennessee market. So it's saying that this hotel had a $21 RevPAR for the end of the year. The Nashville market had a $57.93 RevPAR. Now that is a drastic difference. And I can tell you the reason for that is because of the third column down here. This hotel is classified as an economy hotel, and STR breaks their properties down into different classifications. This hotel happens to be classified as an economy class hotel. There are upper class, mid-scale, a lot of different classes. You can learn all about those on the help tab, but economy class is one of the lowest level classes for a property to be in, which is probably why their RevPAR is so far down behind the market. It's probably not a good comparison to compare yourself against the entire Nashville market because, of course, you've got high scale or upper scale hotels, and then you've got economy class hotels. And if your hotel is, on the lower tiered of the classes, then obviously, your comparison against the overall city is not going to be a good one. So it does compare you though against all the other economy class hotels in the city. So this third one down, this economy class right here, these are all the economy class hotels in the city. Now, this is a good one, in my opinion, to compare yourself against. And the economy class hotels ran a RevPAR of $28.93. So the competitors were $26 RevPAR on average. This hotel ran a $21 RevPAR on average, and the economy class ran a RevPAR of $28.93. If I were an owner-operator for this property, I would probably want to first figure out how to get to where my competitors are at, and then I would probably budget myself to get to where the economy class hotels are in the city as a revenue figure. And you could do the same calculations that I showed you guys before on figuring out how far of a deficit is between this property or your property and the class that you might be in. So I think that is a good number to look at after you can hit your competitors. I think the first focus is the competitors. If this hotel were beating their competitors in RevPAR, this video would be based on this economy class right here, okay? And then it breaks it down a little bit further. It shows the submarket, which is basically the neighborhood that the hotel resides in. And then it shows the submarket scale, which is the economy chains. I'm not going to get into that too much. You can look at that on the help tab. And the last area I want to go in over here is this census at the very bottom. This census. Now, this census breaks it down into a census and a sample. Your census is all the properties in the city. The sample is the properties that report to STR. So you're being compared against the sample. Your properties on all these tabs is being compared against anybody that reports to STR. Obviously, they can't compare you against properties that are not reporting to STR, but they show you how many properties are, how many properties are actually in the city, and then how many are actually reporting to STR. It kind of gives you an idea of if there's a large amount of properties maybe in your submarket or in your area that are not reporting to STR, it kind of shows you that. And it shows you on a sample basis what percentage of those hotels is actually reporting to STR. Okay, so a good area to note. And that is pretty much about it for this video. I hope this video helped you guys. I hope it kind of gives you a perspective on this glance page. I hope you start with this for your year-end STR report, and I hope it gives you a perspective on how to look at your hotel a different way, how to look at it from a revenue perspective, and get yourself thinking of how you can you know, improve yourselves based on your overall revenue deficit compared to your competitors. And I think it's important also for hotels not to know how much their RevPAR is for the end of the year, but to know how much revenue they did for the end of the year. As you can remember, at the beginning of the video, I showed you guys that this hotel did about a little over $574,000 for the year. That's a number that should be in your head at all times as an owner operator. You should know how much revenue your hotel is doing on average per year. That always kind of gives you a good perspective on things when you're talking to other people or you're kind of figuring things out for your property. To know how much your property did for the year, you can always take it in your head and you can divide by 12 to know about how much you're doing a month. And like I did, I broke it down as a deficit and showed you guys how much you're doing per day. But you could also, do it for your property and kind of know in your head how much your property is doing per month, per day, per year. It kind of gives you guys an overall picture of what your property is doing on a grand scale. So that's all I have for now. I hope you guys like this video. Please feel free to share it with your friends and click the like button. And I have more videos coming out in the future, obviously, that touch on the OTA extranets, STR Report, TripAdvisor. I have a lot of good stuff coming up. Stay tuned. I got more to come. Thanks, guys.